you've almost certainly met someone like this. You might not have had a name for them yet. They're those people who always seem to be one step ahead, right? Making moves with a kind of precision that's, well, it's both impressive and maybe a little unsettling. Today, we're going to dig into what really makes them tick.
I mean, you know the type. They just glide through the workplace with this effortless charm. They always seem to land on their feet, and they hit their goals with this quiet, strategic focus. They are absolute masters of the long game. So, what's their secret? What's their playbook?
Well, there's actually a name for this profile. It's called the High Mach personality, and it's a term that really pulls back the curtain on what's going on inside their heads, revealing a very, very deliberate and calculated mindset.
Okay, so at the absolute core of the High Mach's operating system is this one single powerful driver, their own self-interest. Every action, every relationship, every single decision gets weighed against one simple question: what's in it for me? And look, this isn't about being selfish once in a while. This is their fundamental worldview.
So, what's the philosophy that powers this relentless focus on themselves? It all comes down to one core concept: the strategic use of manipulation.
In psychology, the formal term for this is Machiavellianism. And it's not just some buzzword, it's a recognized personality trait. It's really defined by a cold indifference to our usual ideas of right and wrong. And it's paired with this deep-seated belief that the only way to get ahead is to skillfully manipulate the people around you.
Let's just break that down. For High Mach, morality isn't really a guide, it's more of an obstacle. Self-interest isn't just important, it is everything. And manipulation, that's not a last resort. No, it's the #1 most effective tool in their kit for getting what they want.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. These behaviors, they're not random, they're not impulsive. They are part of a deliberate, well-thought-out strategy. This isn't checkers, we're talking grandmaster-level chess here. So what does that playbook actually look like? Well, first, they are always thinking several moves ahead, always focus on those long-term gains. Second, they deploy this powerful, sometimes over-the-top charm to build alliances and, disarm people. And third, they use those very alliances and that disarmed state to manipulate situations to their advantage. And that warmth, that friendliness you might feel from a High Mach, yeah, it isn't necessarily a sign that they genuinely like you. More often than not, it's a currency. It's a tool they're using to achieve a very specific objective.
Now, it might be tempting to just lump the High Machs in with other dark personality types, but there's a really critical distinction we need to make. They're not all the same. You see, while both might lack empathy, the key difference here is planning. A High Mach is a meticulous, long-term strategist. This is a huge contrast to the classic psychopath, who is often defined by being impulsive and taking reckless, short-sighted actions. At the end of the day, what really sets the High Machs apart is their patience. They are willing to invest time to build these complex social networks and just wait for that perfect moment to make their move. That foresight, that control, is exactly what makes their strategies so effective.
So why is this so important? Why should you care about recognizing this playbook in your own life, whether it's at work or, just in your social circles?
Because recognition is power. It really is. When you can see the playbook for what it is, a calculated strategy, you're no longer just a piece on their board. Understanding their methods lets you navigate your interactions with them so much more wisely. It helps you protect your own interests and, frankly, avoid being played. It's all about being aware of the game. So this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? In a world that so often rewards ambition, is the High Mach's approach a winning strategy? Or is it a fundamental character flaw? The answer isn't simple, but maybe just knowing how to ask the question is the most important takeaway of all.